Yes,
I'm ready.
yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. आणि किती लोक आहेत? Is the Hindi, English, what is the language preferred?
Oh, yes, you can use
इंग्लिशच ना,
Hindi.
कारण पूर्ण साऊथ टू नॉर्थ सगळेच आहेत.
Yes, yes.
पूर्ण
Correct.
इंडियातले आहेत, म्हणजे महाराष्ट्रातले पेक्षाच कोण नाही.
South
क्या
China,
बात
sir.
है, क्या बात है.
त्यामुळं
I request everyone if you can keep your video also on for some time. At least we know each other, and then you can
yeah.
multitask with other things.
Yes.
Participants, please switch on your cameras if possible. Okay. The participants who have for whom it is possible, you can just switch on for some minute. After that one, sir will. Okay, very good.
Sorry, sir. I'm connecting with the PC, so I
You
don't have
just
the
switch on
camera over there.
for few minutes. Okay. Very good.
Hello, Prabodh sir.
हेलो, अरे सविता मैम, क्या बात है. नमस्कार नमस्कार नमस्कार.
Namaskar.
Let me see how many I know and how many know me. जिनको मैंने देखा हुआ है, जिन्होंने मेरे को देखा हुआ है, तो जस्ट से हाय. आई वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी. सविता मैम का नाम ना पढ़ते हुए उसके चेहरे से पता चल गया सविता मैम.
Yes.
नो चेंज इन लास्ट 30 years मैम. 28 years.
Thank you. I take this as a compliment.
She was my boss in my first job.
Oh, great.
नाही असं काही नाही, आपण एकत्र काम करत होतो.
Good afternoon, Prabodh sir.
Yes sir.
With your permission, sir.
हाँ, चालू करा यार सर.
Yes.
चालू कर दो.
Yes.
Okay. We should
Yes.
speak in.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they will switch on. You can switch on your.
Yes.
प्रभू सुरू कर. आपलं हे वैभव सुरू कर.
Yes, sir.
प्रबोध पण सुरू करतो. डोंट वरी.
Sorry.
नाही प्रबोध सुरू करतो. डोंट वरी. वैभव सरांना सुरू करू दे. Then I will start.
Yes. I'm extremely sorry on behalf of Dr. Ashutosh sir.
Yes.
Okay. Once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to sixth session of the online faculty development program entitled Recent Trends in Food Processing and Preservation Technologies, which is organized by Department of Technology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and which is sponsored by AFST Training and Learning Academy. This online faculty development program is specifically designed for faculty members, research scholars, and industrialists aim to update research or teaching skills and improvement in the faculty's ability in carrying out teaching, research, and consultancy in the area of food processing technology. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You will have the opportunity to submit the text question to today's presenter by typing your question into the chat box. You may send your questions at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the question and answering session at the end of this wonderful session. As we know, India is a developing country with a mixed economy, so it is very important to develop the Indian economy for the growth of the nation. Half of the Indian workers rely on agriculture for their livelihoods. Here we are going to discuss the impact of startups in the Indian economy and how it helps in the growth of our country. Now India is dependent on many other countries. India needs to be self-sustainable in every field such as medicinal, food and food technology. For this, startups are very necessary. That's why governments are implementing many schemes for a startup. The government has introduced many policies that aims to ease the business environment for startup. Studies show that India needs more than 100 million jobs a year, and the jobs startups may be small companies, but they play a major role in the giving jobs in India. When more jobs are created, more income for the people are created, which means the much improved economy is created. When people have money to spend, then it is circulated in the Indian market, which improves the income of the government. a good entrepreneurship culture is developing in India, which gives importance to quality and timely delivery of work, which attracts customers towards their product of the service. That's why uh, Dr. Prabodh Halde sir is going to deliver a lecture on startup ecosystem in food processing. I am feeling so proud to introduce Dr. Prabodh Halde sir. Dr. Prabodh Halde sir was working as a president of Association of Food Scientists and Technology of India, CFTI, Mysore. He was the chair of two startup funding schemes by Ministry of Higher Education in the area of food and agriculture. He is a renowned food technologist with a well-rounded multidisciplinary experience. He is a chairman of Western Region for AIPFA India. He is executive committee member of the PFNDAI and SCE India. He is an active member of various industry associations like CII, FICCI, and IBHA, etc. He is currently working in Marico as a head regulatory research and development area. He has a passion to nurture the young entrepreneurs. He has 28 years of string industrial experience and worked for Beckman's, SSC, and Coca-Cola India. He is on various boards and renowned trainer in the area of food processing and food safety and startups. He is a central advisory member for FSSI Government of India as a representative of food industry. He is also member of Niti Aayog Empowered Group. He is supporting many food startups and currently mentored more than 30 food startups. Through trusted groups, actually, he is supporting and mentoring more than 200 students for the startups. He is a member of subcommittee for Ayush Ministry for COVID Task Group. He is a research council member of CSI CFTRI and IFT Tanjavur MOFPI. He is on BOM studies for BMN Khalsa, SNDT Polytechnic, ICT Aurangabad, ICT Kolhapur, KG Somya College, etc. He is on advisory board on SVT, SNDT, and MIT Pune. He is a national resource person for POSTAC program of FCCI. He has delivered over 300 national and international seminars. An accomplished motivational and technical speaker, he has delivered more than 200 seminars and lectures at different conferences all across the India and abroad on food processing, food quality, and food safety related topics. He has represented India 6 times for Codex meeting from year 2012 to 2021. His chosen area of expertise is food safety and food regulations. As recognition of his expertise, he was selected to be part of PMO visit delegation to Kazakhstan as a food industry expert in June 2013. In May 2017, he was invited by US State Department for 21 days of exchange program at USA as a food safety expert under Leadership Exchange Program. He is recipient of Global Food Safety Award 2018 and Outstanding Regulatory Award 2018 by AIFPA India. He has been also awarded by MIT University Pune for Outstanding Personality Award 2019. He got National Food Safety Eat Right Award in 2019 in Professional by FSCI. He got Special Recognition Award by ITCFSCAN in year 2020. He was started various innovative programs in AFST, Vice Project Ashirwad, Project Avishkar, Project Power Talk, and Project Parampara. He has written much appreciated books on food safety regulations for sectors such as oil industry, bakery industry, and retail industry. These informative books have proved to be very useful guide for food business operators. Also, he has published more than 5 motivational books for students named Prabodhika. Recently, fifth Prabodhika was placed by Honorable Sri Ramnath Kovind, President of the India. He is also worked for Udan Welfare Foundation for the under the privileged section of the society. In COVID-19 condition, he was trained over more than 90,000 students or as well as the startups directly and indirectly and industry people through his more than 100 of the webinars. He is a role model. He is a role model for many budding students as well as including me. Dr. Prabodh Halde sir is the master blaster food technologist. Now we all are eagerly waiting for the guidance from the extraordinary resource person of India. Dr. Prabodh Halde sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vaibhav. I think you have made me feel so proud. And I'm sitting in a chair, but suddenly I realize that
Yeah.
I have increased my height.
Yes, 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 yes.
I felt so happy.
Yes.
I'm happy for two reasons because my dear colleague actually sir has invited me to my very close college, which is ICT, our Kolhapur. And second thing, being actually lecture to like Uchan sir has invited me, and I said I'm coming. So even I think we hardly had any fraction of second exchange, and I said yes, I'm coming. I was not knowing which date, when, but my first response was without looking at my calendar, मैं आने वाला हूँ. For two reasons, because I wanted to visit Kolhapur, and that time we have not decided to do it on online. But एक चांस था कि उदय अन्नापुरे सर, उसके बाद में भगवान साखरे सर के साथ एक जाने का, कोल्हापुर में आने का एक हमारा चांस था, जो आपने अबे ऑनलाइन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है. एंड दैट इज द easiest thing to do. But anyway, for the reason, I salute to all the teaching staff.
Thank
My mother, I lost my mother last year, but she was a professor, and I have seen working as a professor, working as a teacher, working as a actually training these students is the best job on the earth. So I respect you all, and I really respect your duty, thankless job which you are doing, and so many academic other work which you do apart from your teaching job. Today unfortunately the teacher has to do 70% allied jobs rather than the teaching, and I really know this very closely. And if you see my CV, I look more academician rather than the industry person. Though I work for industry, I am on more than 7 boards of the various institutes, and I keep connect. I love connecting with the academia. And just Vaibhav, one more addition which I want to add, and which
yes,
Uchad sir may be knowing. I'm doing
yes,
my
sir.
second PhD from MIT Pune under the guidance of Professor Pawar sir and co-guide as Professor Annapure sir. I'm on
Great,
the I'm
great.
in the third year, and you know that now the PhD. In my first PhD, it was easy because there was no entrance exam, there was no course curriculum for first year, and there was no other allied work. Now it is compulsory to go through the common exam test and the first year common two subjects and practical and all.
Yes,
But yes, it is possible. When you want to do, one can do it, and otherwise the excuses are many. So let's go. How much time, sir, I have?
to us, to us.
Okay. I will ensure that you will not get bored if you listen to me. You will get bored if you don't listen to me. And if you work with parallel, then you will get. If you listen to me, I can ensure that you will not get bored.
Yes,
And
yes,
I think 200 participants, I really respect your time. I'm sharing my slides, and here we go.
yes, sir.
Please tell me if you are able to see my slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 minute.
It is visible, sir.
1 minute. I think Vaibhav has narrated very aptly, about the startup in agro processing and food
Yes,
processing. So I'm going to take it further.
yes,
Uh, as we all are aware, last 2 years, COVID has come, and unprecedented changes have happened in our life. And we never imagined that the life will change like this. And there are two things, negatives and positives. Unfortunately for the student, these 2 years are like very difficult years. And look at the postgraduate students, those who are supposed to be working in the laboratory, they have not seen the lab at all. And it is so difficult. Morning time, when I see my son who is in 11th standard, 8 o'clock his school starts online. And teachers are trying to teach them so methodically, but the students are lying on the bed, taking the call from the bed, not prepared, not bathing, and directly taking the call. These kind of things are happening, which I think is wrong thing acquiring the knowledge, and you as a parent or you as a teacher, I know that what is actually going on, but every problem is an opportunity in disguise, because that is the way positivity we should look at. Government of India has decided to go for Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is very good thing. And yesterday's budget announcement, and let me tell you, I have actually decoded the budget, and I will be showing what are my takes on the budget. But 3 lakhs crore package, which has been announced last year, is in the main focus is small and medium scale sectors in food processing. Good news for the startups. Uh, just to give you the highlights of the yesterday's budget, startup has been recognized, agricultural startup has been recognized, NABARD has been given extra money for funding the startups, and 44% and 200% increase in the food processing industries budget allocation, and 44 in the dairy and animal husbandry. This is very good number for food processing sector. And first time I have seen that budget is talking about syllabus of agriculture, updating the syllabus, organic food, promoting chemical free natural farming, and also encouraging the public partnership for the various schemes. So in coming days, I'm not saying this budget is completely good, but it is a progressive budget. And the focus is given more. Earlier budget used to be the populistic budget, like giving the subsidy. But this budget is investing in the technology. This budget talks about schemes linking the market, talking about the scientific and syllabus improvement and all, which is a progressive. So coming year, definitely we need to look forward what actually comes out. And now we'll also wait for the respective state government. Before doing showing the startup presentation, I just want to narrate one Sanskrit Subhashit which says that उद्यमे ही सिद्धन्ति कार्याणि न मनोरथे नहि सुप्तस्य सिंहस्य प्रवेशति मुखे मृगा. Nowadays, everybody wants everything without doing the work. The new generation I'm talking about. But startup, if you really are interested in startup, one has to work hard. There is no shortcut in the startup. Hard work is a must. The Sanskrit Subhashit says that a person has to work. Only planning will not make anything possible. Even if you are a king of jungle, then also, if you are even a lion, you have to work to get your food. Nobody will cook for you. So this is very, very important. This is very, very important. You have to work, you have to work, and you have to work. I generally know this slide. You must have seen this my slide if you have happened to attend my one of the workshop. If you want to do some startup or you have ability of doing a startup, how many have seen the movie one day prior to exam? And I want honest answer in the chat box. Yes, no, something. How many have you actually traveled without reservation in second class compartment or non-reserve bogie? How many of you have eaten the fruits on the neighbor's tree without taking a permission? How many of you have traveled solo without any planning? I am not connecting if you have done this, you will be a good person or what, but I just want to know your reactions. Also, in startup, though you might be of the age of 30, 25, or 40, 45, whatever is the age you have, in your childhood or in your college time, how many have done the selling of the product in Anand Mela, so the society Mela? How do you arrange the picnic for your friends, for your relatives? How many have you wear the sister shoe? You must wear the shoes and your father, your mother has asked you to wear the elder brother or elder sister shoe. How many have actually collected a chanda, we call it Marathi Vargani, for Ganpati, for social act? How many have you raised up for NGO, for Kambudi? Like there was a earthquake in Gujarat, there was in northeast there were a lot of floods. So have you collected some funds for your needy people, not for you? And so many have enjoyed the life of hostel. So I will just take a minute break. I want a honest answer or anybody's reaction. Open your camera and you can speak. So any reactions? I think people are watching me or people are not watching me. Dr. Mohan Kumar is saying I have done. Pooja ma'am is saying traveled in unreserved compartment, sold products, very good. Any other feedback? Unmute and talk. Let's do that. At least it will become a two-way. Sir is saying I have done fifth PPT. Okay, very good.
We enjoyed this hostel life, sir.
Enjoyed hostel life. Who is saying that?
And myself is there.
Oh, but very good, very good. You enjoyed the. Anybody? Okay. So basically, these are the tricks. These are the things. If you have used, you have enjoyed, you have gone through. This will give you the impression and the carry your learning for further your startup journey. And let me tell you, if you are a professor, if you are a teacher, government is encouraging you to do innovation and you can always support any of the startup. I always feel the teachers, the educators, the researchers, and the professors have actually have a good opportunity to the startups rather than the from the industry. So आप लोगों ने तो करना चाहिए. You should be doing it. I will explain you what you can do. I will handhold you in future. After having this two hours of workshop, I don't think this is important. But what is important amongst these 200 colleagues, those who are available today, even if 20 become a good startups or you support other startups, then the delivery of the program is there. Very interesting. I am a technologist and I passed out in 1994. We never got understanding about what India has food technological knowledge. I want all food technologists, professors, and the we should be knowing about our heritage. If you see during the COVID time, we have all have moved to the traditional. All have moved to the. There is a book called Nalapakadarpan, and as you might not be knowing or you might be knowing, King Nala was the and he was a scientist way back in 8,000, 10,000 years. Meaning, the book is available on PDF form. It has 11 chapters and it is about topics of the food and food safety. Interesting book to read. And we get surprised why I'm not aware about such books until Sita, she was a big chef and her recipes of uh, food are amazing. Then Vallabhi, when he was in Agyatmas, the Virat kingdom as a Vallava, he has written a chapter in Mahabharata about cooking and what food is good for king, what food is good for servants. That is also marvelous work. Unfortunately, we are not working on this, but foreigners are coming and studying this and taking the inputs from the scientific aspect. Shahjahan was one of the best cook. He has given a lot of recipe to the modern world, including gulab jam and various non-vegetarian dishes. Surprisingly, I have actually have done one video also, Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 and the stanza, the shlok 8, 9 and 10 talks about quality of foods, sattvic food, rajasic food and tamasic food. Amazingly scientific work. I'm not talking about Bhagavad Gita as a Hindu book. It is about the scientific spiritual book about the food science. And those who are interested, read the chapter 17 and about 7 and 8, particularly 7, 8, 9 shloka. You might be get surprised to know that what we eat idli sambar, and the first time it was gathered back in Tanjavur. Today Tanjavur is in Tamil Nadu. When Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj visited to Tanjavur, nothing brother. He offered to prepare him amti eating by Maharaj, and amti, and he has added tamarind in place of dahi, and product which got prepared by accident. It was very tasty. So it was the first time this product, and they named this product as sambar in honor of Sambhaji. These are the things I think the student should know, the teacher should know our heritage. If we don't proclaim, if we don't present, who will do? I myself have traveled overseas, and I don't see any reason the other country people can talk about India. This is the reason that India should have food. And it's very important that we should feel proud about India. Which particular philosophy you come from, which particular political belief you have, but one thing is very sure, you are pro-Indian, not anti-Indian. You go to Israel, you go to US, you go to France, you go to UK. There is a political environment in that country, but every countryman talks about the beauty of the developed countries. They love development. And here we take pride of saying that India में सब कुछ चलता है. I think this is very important to know, particularly in the food processing. We should be knowing that heritage of food, what kind of quality of food we have. No other countries. In Maharashtra alone, there are so many quality of food and so many variety of food. And when you come to India, there are more than 600 varieties. When I traveled to US, and I traveled all states from east part to west part, north to south, and interestingly, all the breakfast, all the bread, butter, mashed potatoes, and omelette. Ask what the developed country offers. Come to India, you will 30 kind of quality of the is food what we talk about. So these kind of varieties, they do not have that kind of opportunities and availability. We should feel proud about it. We should talk about it. And I request, bring this kind of topic to your intake or NSS students. If they are interested, traditional means of somebody has utsav, food, during the utsav, simply that. We should be doing both. Hence, it's nothing but more of a crisis, more the innovation. Today's problem with the new generation is that they don't have fire in their belly because they have done everything and we are giving everything ready made to them. They do not want to strive for something their own. Bigger the crisis, bigger the innovation. If you look at most of the, can you mute somebody?
ते तू असतं तर लय लांबड्या लावल्या ते हे करा ते करा ते कसं
काय म्हणलं?
Can you
Someone is listening, please mute yourself.
घ्यायचं मग की मागणं तुमनं आणि फ्रीज पण घ्यायचं मग सांगा मग लागेल लगेच खाण्याला सुरू घ्यायचा त्याची कपाट करायला सांगितले केलायस का तू दोन त्याच्यापूर्वी पण भांडी चांगली चांगली ठेवू देत
go into the setting and unmute yourself?
तुझी ऑर्डर कधी पर्यंत आहे रे नाही माझा नाही हर्षवर्धन
नाही नाही कोण म्हटलं कोणाला कोण
तुझं ऑन आहे
नाही ऑन नाहीये
सर तुमचं ऑन आहे
हर्षवर्धन
हर्षवर्धन ऑन आहे तुमचं तुम्ही प्लीज
नाही अनम्यूटच दिसते बघ सर बघायच्या नाही तर अनम्यूट दिसते मोबाईल चालू कर मोबाईलवरच बंद आहे
you are disturbing the entire class sir kindly unmute yourself those who are on
अनम्यूट सर
kindly
तेव्हापासून डाउट कर
if you are unmute.
बंद करू काय नाही बंद करतो मी इथं प्रॉब्लेम झालाय काहीतरी मी अनम्यूट केलंय तरी हा चालतंय परत
Left wall, left wall, sir.
हा
Hi, sir. Extremely sorry, sir, on behalf of Arshavadan Kamble, sir.
No, it's okay.
Yes, yes.
You know,
I
yaar,
think there
all
is a one,
about.
there is a technical problem
No,
from
it's okay.
his side. Yes,
We
sir.
know, yaar, we know. Thanks God his camera was shut. Otherwise, we would have seen family also.
Yes.
It's okay. We have done that. Okay, what I was actually saying that if you know that maximum patents have been filed in the first and second World War because of the crisis. Maximum number of innovations also happened during the first and second World War, particularly food processing industries. If somebody writes the story of the food processing industry in India or otherwise, it will start from the Second World War. The whole canning industry started because of the war. The carbonated beverage, the birth of the carbonated beverage in the can had started because of the World War. They wanted to ship with their forces. Ready to drink coffee also is the reign of the Second World War. So the point what I'm trying to make, if there is a crisis, there will be a solution. If there is no crisis, there is no solution. If you allow your kids, allow your students to give the ready-made food, they will be happy eating the ready-made food. They will never work for it. जितना बड़ा crisis, उतना बड़ा innovation. So these are the two verticals of the First World War, Second World War. In future, I will put one more vertical called COVID crisis, and so many innovations have happened because of the COVID. Look at the COVID innovations. Online itself is a COVID innovation. We never use this as a area or it is happening. Last month we have done If.Past 2021 online entire programs we could do online. Today our this faculty development program is happening online. It is possible. Without traveling, we are able to do online. So COVID has done a lot of innovations. If you go to the market, supermarket, so many startup companies, so many new products are coming and they are on the shelf. So bigger the crisis, bigger the innovation. But one has to see what is positive for this. Am I not audible?
Yes, you are audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Audible.
Great.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Look at the Ola Uber. They do not have any own car, but they are the biggest taxi provider. Look at the Facebook, look at the Alibaba, look at the Amazon, look at the Airbnb, look at Apple. They do not have their own factory, but they are the biggest manufacturer and seller of the phone. Look at the WhatsApp. Without having a server, WhatsApp has become so big today. It is because of innovation, disruptive innovation, and collaboration. We need such kind of innovative approach in food processing industry. Today we are ordering the food on Ola Food or Zomato. It is very easy. But can we do more innovation in this space? What has happened in the Facebook, Paytm, smartphone, internet? Can we do such innovation in the food processing through the start? That is a challenge. And we required your support. India should come out with some kind of solutions which are burning solution in area of food processing. If we do not innovate, what happens to you? Look at the companies which they have not innovated or they have not cope up with the market needs. Ambassador car. For 35 years they were number one in India in the car market. In 1990, 1982 particularly, when the Maruti came in small car segment, Ambassador said it is not my competitor at all. And you know the story what has happened future. Kodak film. When the digital camera came in, Kodak said, no way, Digital does not have a clarity. Kodak film has a clarity, and you know the history. Pager, when the phone came in Nokia, Pager CEO, Mr. Jain was there then. He said, Nokia phone is not a threat, it is 16,000 rupees. I am 3,000 rupees, so no way competition. But you know what has happened to the pager? HMT watches, Duke's Cola, Ravargao chocolates. We should know what happened if we do not innovate timely. This is the outcome. Any comment on this? Anybody? Participants, I appeal you, please comment. Savita ma'am, chalo.
Hello.
Yeah. Who is speaking? Please open your camera and speak.
Myself, Shripal Gaikwad.
Yeah, Gaikwad ji, bolo.
So
You open your
against,
camera, ma'am. Sir.
okay, I guess I'm visible.
Yes. Bolo, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, whatever story you inlined just now, it gives importance to the innovation. One should be always thinking in changing the scenario, and he has to, or he or that company has to be very particular about the innovations, and they have to cope up the innovation with them. If not, the survival will be the problem. And as we know the Darwin's theory, survival is the fittest. Here, that will be there. Yes, thank you, sir.
Oh, very good, Shripad ji. Thank you. Anybody? I was requesting Savita ma'am.
Hello.
Savita ma'am, yes.
Savita ji, bolo.
हा
बोला मॅडम.
Professor Savita.
काय innovation should be there.
Hmm?
नवीन इनोव्हेशन्स पाहिजेच, अदरवाईज बिझनेस संपूनच जाणार. नवीन नवीन काहीतरी यायलाच पाहिजे.
Very good. But yeah. Anybody? Yeah, thank you, Savita ji. Yeah. Who is
I
want
have,
to speak?
yeah, I'm Mohan Kumar. So I
Yeah,
have a
Dr. Mohan.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is regarding Nokia. So Nokia had an innovation when they merged with Microsoft. Later on, they did not sustain.
Hmm.
Why it was happened like that, sir?
Lack of consumer understanding. See, innovation is important, but response to the consumer understanding is more important. Only innovation will not take you to the next height. You need to understand what is an ask of consumer, what is a want of consumer, what consumer is liking or disliking. Nokia has missed the bus there.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, what Honorable EMO has actually inaugurated the startup first time on 16th of January 2016, and he has said that हिंदुस्तान का कोई भी जिला, कोई भी ब्लॉक ऐसा ना हो जहां पे आने वाले दिनों में नए स्टार्टअप शुरू ना हो. Friends, Israel is the country. Israel. Yes, Priya ma'am, you want to speak something? So Israel is the country which is having maximum startups in the country, and their growth is because of the startup. Always look at government cannot give jobs to all. Today also, the total population, only 7.3% people got a government job. Out of 100 employees, only 7 people are in the government job. Rest all the employees are from the private. So one has to work. One has to private has to work, and startups are a real fuel in innovation. So, and that is a proven thing in Israel. It has happened in US. And same thing can actually happen in India if we all work towards that. So startup is, as I have discussed, it's a national economy to increase the economy, positive contribution, and create jobs to fuel the innovation, and also to have indigenous solution, which is very, very important. How many of you see the Shark Tank? Nowadays, it is a very popular series. Please raise your hand or just say yes in the comment. How many you see the Shark Tanks? Shripal Gaikwad is saying yes. Pooja ma'am is saying yes. Gopika is saying yes. Very good. Okay, great. Islam sir is saying yes. Any comment on this? Why suddenly people are started liking the Shark Tank when there is no melody drama, when there is no fight, when there is no romance? Any comment on this? Islam bhai, batao. Anybody? Hello? Anybody? Unmute yourself and speak.
The innovations by the people, no? So when we see that one, no? So yesterday also I just saw that the one person was there. He has developed one instrument where he used to. That means he was focusing on particular app which can be used at the village. Yesterday I saw that. So people are thinking in that way. So they are thinking how we can so day-to-day life they have facing the problem, and they are thinking on how to develop that one. So that is more appropriate, and that we can get from this Shark Tank too.
Acha. Correct, sir.
Am I?
Correct, Professor Udashan, sir. Correct. You're right. And we are interested what other people are doing. That's why most of the people are watching. Some are interested how I can do. Some are interested how that the investor is actually asking the question. Some people are watching because of that. But yes, the interest have increased, and I see in coming days many startups, such programs will start. As per DIPP, Department of Industrial Promotion, startup is the company which is registered firm but not proprietary firm. It has to be less than 7 years of establishment. It has less than 25 crore of turnover. These are the basic requirement. Please visit www.startupindia.gov.in. I am one of the approved mentor on the startup, and it is a very good start for the companies. And many people don't understand what is a startup, because startup concept started with the IT, but a lot of food companies are getting started in the startup ecosystem. And unfortunately, in the demographic of the startups, Bangalore is the area where maximum startups are happening. Karnataka is the number one. Number two is Andhra Pradesh. I'm talking about food startups. Then Gujarat, and then Mumbai and Delhi. And area wise, maximum financial people are coming and starting the startup. Unfortunately, only less than 4% food technologists are doing the startup. So this is the demographic and the reach. And if you see the total startups, less than 8% startups are in area of food and agro beverages or agricultural area, agro technology. Maximum startups are in IT, less than 8%. Amongst the 100 startups in India, less than 10 are in the area of food and agriculture processing. So really we need to increase. Maybe this is the old statistics of 2 years back, but after COVID, I think आपने देखा होगा the COVID, only two companies, the two establishments were working. One is a pharma and one is the food. So किराना का shop चल रहा था and the pharmacy का shop चल रहा था. So this is very important that when there is a need, When there is a shutdown, what works is something which is everyday's requirement, which is a food. What are the basic components of startup? This is a very important slide. Basic components of the startup. You require a unique idea. Your idea should be unique. You cannot do the startup with the Ghasapita idea. You cannot do the startup which 10 people have already done. That cannot become a successful startup. So for that, you need to understand the market need. So there is to be unique idea and there has to be need in the market. You cannot sell ice cream where nobody is eating the ice cream. So startup has to go with the wave. Startup is not something which you say that after 10 years I will start selling. I will develop the market. That is not a startup. So let's understand the startup philosophy. Startup is like a wave. How many have seen the movie Pushpa? How many you are from South India? Okay, let's understand. How many you are from South India? And have you many have seen the movie Pushpa? You unmute yourself and see, look at the, how many have seen the movie? I think 80% people must have seen. Yes.
I've
So you
seen
like the
it.
movie or not? Pooja
Yes,
madam,
I like the movies.
you like the movie. And there is a message. There is a message that
You
what
can start up from the scratch. You need to have the passion to do that.
correct,
Anywhere you can start. You don't need to be a big background. You need to have to start up something. You need to have that passion.
correct. Not necessary that you should have a big stardom like Khans and Bachchans, but your movie can be good if you have a content and you have an intent. So there is a market need. If you know the market and then you put the product, do a proper finance, manage the supply chain and within the regulatory framework, and the most important person is the entrepreneur who is the director of the movie. So if you put startup and movie, director is like entrepreneur who is doing a startup and other things are need to get connected. Most of the movies goes on the toss, same way most of the product goes on the toss because one link is missing. One link is missing. Either the market is not ready, you do not have a finance, or supply chain is not good, or regulatory applications are not yet approved, or the product idea is too ahead of the time or too repetitive. Could be one thing. कुछ लोग startup लेके आते हैं, their ideas are ahead of time, and कुछ लोग startup लेके आते हैं which is like a घसा पिटा idea. So failure could be because of anything. Again, I'm saying unique idea, market, finance, supply chain, and regulatory compliances. A person who will do the startup is an entrepreneur. He is the most important thing. He is the most important person. Startup is like a having idea, implementing it. Startup is not something having idea and not implementing it. Person can actually say, I had an idea, I never used the idea, and then you will never start the startup. You have to start somewhere. If you have an idea, either you start or you loan the idea to someone to start. Only keeping idea in the mind will never have any use because that will never come as a actually startup. Potential energy has to convert into the kinetic energy. Otherwise, there is no start. In area of food processing, there is a good scope of startup because 75% of the sector of the food processing is in a small sector. And small sector, there is a need. I stay in Hirandani, Thane, and every day morning there is a big call center close to my house. I see every day morning when I come for the my office time 7:30. There is a shift change happening from call center, and more than 300, 400 people are working in a call center. When the night shift comes out, they go to the nearby shop for tea, coffee. Along with there is a small startup. He has started vada sambar and idli vada. And one day I asked that boy, what you do? He said, I'm MBA, but I support my mother for doing this. And within 2 hours, he sells worth of 10,000 rupees product every day. Just imagine 10,000 into 20 days, 2 lakhs rupees of business. He's doing absolutely in 2 hours every day. And then he goes to his job. So, point which I am making is that we don't notice that these are the small businesses are there, but only we are happy to work as 10,000 rupees per month, but we will not do any selling when it comes to the actual doing something. So startup in the food processing area, there is a huge demand, huge requirement, but one has to start. Yes, burger is the example. But entrepreneur, the person who takes the, what is the difference between the startup and a person who does the job? Entrepreneur, udyojak, a person who takes the risk. He is the one or she is the one who does something their own. It is like jumping into the water and swimming rather than teaching from outside. Who is the entrepreneur? He is the connector. The biggest skill the startup should is a connecting. You should. Now we go to the conference. Now in today's conference only, we know 200 people have joined. But I guarantee amongst all of us, there will be only hardly one or two people who will connect with each other after the conference. Most of the people come to the conference. This is an online conference. They eat, they go, and they go back to the home. We don't exchange the cards. We don't interact with each other, or rather, we only interact with the known people, and then we forget. We don't want to increase our connections. Friends, networking is the biggest strength today, particularly in COVID time. You must have learned that. Networking is the biggest skill. Startups, entrepreneurs are risk takers. रिस्क लेनी पड़ेगी आपको. They take the responsibility of their failure also. Why we are, as an Indian, are not successful in startup? Because it goes actually most of the things in upbringing. आप याद करो, when we were the kids and mother, what used to happen when if a baby falls, mother will say to the floor, मेरे बच्चे को गिरा दिया तूने, और वो फ्लोर को मारेगी. That is the culture which we promote. Always baby thinks, I am not at mistake, mistake is of the floor. So when the baby grows, that baby always wants to blame others for their own mistake. This small example, but it's very important. Whatever you do, are you taking a responsibility or not? Today, I like somewhere US culture when a boy or girl is above a 10-year-old. Whatever you are, you have to start earning. You have to go out of the home to the hostel or to the job. Here, particularly from our area, middle class family, boy is 30-year-old, mother still want to keep the boy with herself and want to feed even after marriage. This is the exactly against the startup culture because we are not making them comfortable and responsible. So my request to you, if you want to make your son, daughter, or whoever independent entrepreneur, let them take the risk. If you see amongst all the culture, Punjabis are most successful in the startup, then the Gujaratis, then the North Indian, then the South Indian, when it comes to the success. Because these are the communities which they take a lot of risk. Particularly, I'm from the community called Maharashtrian. and Bengalis are the community which are very, very self less risk taker community. They do not take the risk, and the failures in the startups are very high because they play very safe. But that does not mean that we cannot become a successful. We can become a successful unless you cover up this, understand the market, understand the consumer, and startup entrepreneur is the one who converts science into the commerce. Understanding the commerce is very important in startup. Startup entrepreneur is the one who take calculated risk. Startup and trading and gambling, these are the two different things. Gamble is not a startup. Share market is not a startup. Startup is a value addition. Trading is not a startup. Let me tell you, bringing the product of 5 rupees and selling at 6 rupees is not a startup. Startup means you do value addition by actually doing some value. This is very important. Small value, but more importantly, value addition. Now let's understand about successful entrepreneurs. Can entrepreneur is can be made, or it is he is a born or she is a born. They are not born. They are not from one caste, creed, or religion or region. Every area, entrepreneurs can be developed subject to we give the good atmosphere. We can cultivate the skills. Company matters, the surrounding matters, culture matters. At home, the culture matters. What happened after the BTech or after MTech or after PhD when three students comes out and then said I got a job of say 50,000 rupees salary. Other says I'm going abroad for education. Third person say I'm doing a startup. The next question somebody will say how much you earn. Now the first year the startup will not earn anything. Then our view of looking at that person, oh उसको 50,000 का जॉब लगा तू तो कुछ भी नहीं कमा रहा है. Because when even the river Ganga starts, it starts with a small flow. Then it becomes big. Nothing in life comes in big size when it is born. Startup has potential. One should not look startup as a small thing. It can grow in a very, very big entrepreneurs. I mean, self-confidence is the most important. When I'm talking about self-confidence, it is about not English. It is about our own confidence. And I can sell, I can organize, I can do something my own. That confidence. Startup comes with a sacrifice. Very, very important. We believe that 9 to 5 job startup is like I'm owner, I can do anything, but without sacrifice, nothing can happen. You have to sacrifice, your family has to sacrifice. No Saturday, Sunday. There is no free lunch. There is no free lunch in the life. Success comes with its own cost, and sacrifice has to be done for a good success. The most important thing, mentor. A person who mentor you for successful startup. It is very, very important to learn from mentors, and mentors are available. Either you connect with the mentor or mentor will connect you. And those who are interested, if you want to get mentorship of the startup, please give your mobile number to Professor actually Udayachan sir. I will add you into one of the group. I am running a mentorship of the startups. Those who are interested, we can add you, and you may not become a own startup, but you will help. If you are not becoming a Sachin Tendulkar, become a Achrekar Guruji for someone. But be a part of the startup ecosystem. You may not be a startup person by your own, but you can become a Achrekar Guruji who is a mentor. So you can mentor somebody. In startup, there are 4 phases of the startup.
अरे काय हायर केलं काय
Uh, Discovery means initiation of the startup, validation of the your principle, maintenance, and then renewal of that. So these are the four phases of the startup. It is the same phases like a life: birth, growth, maturity, and then decline. Same phases in the startup, and in each phase there are some drivers, there are some risk attached to it, and how to fulfill the financial needs. This has been developed by me, and it is not by copypaste.com from somewhere. I will explain you how to read this chart. At concept stage, at idea stage, you have some innovative idea, and it is said that whenever you get any idea, seven people in the on the earth get the same idea somewhere in the universe. That is the same. ये मत सोचना कि आपकी आइडिया सिर्फ आपके पास ही है. Whenever you are getting any idea, look at me and understand. Seven people on the earth get the same idea at the same time. But how many to start? How many are to start? We don't know. Idea coming is one thing. So driver of that phase of ideation is innovative idea. Idea needs to be unique. How to do the finance during that time? It could be self-finance, it could be from the friend, it could be from the crowdfunding. Risk is copycat. दूसरा आपके आइडिया चुरा सकता है. Unfortunately, in India, there is no protection of the patent. I myself have actually filed 2-3 patents, but in the startup ecosystem, when you file the patent, it takes 7 to 8 years. Nobody will wait for 7 to 8 years for starting the commercial operation. Then validation stage, the driver is proof of concept. You have idea, but how to prove that it is working? That is a proof of concept. Finance is angel investor or seed capital, and risk driver is belief. You need to have a belief. Whoever comes to me and said that I have an idea, I ask them, sleep with this idea for 9 months. If you are getting convinced that this will work, it will work for 9 months, then only you get a belief that yes, it will work. I've seen a lot of startup entrepreneurs, they come with the idea, within a month, they change their idea. That is not the idea then. Idea is something which helps you for sleepless night for 9 months. For any new baby, you have to wait for 9 months. And same way, this 9 month is the most important aspect. Then early traction, route to market. So idea may be very good. Idea may be very good, but how you are going to sell? I can give n number of examples. Somebody has formed the uh, frozen juices. Idea is excellent, nutrition juices, but how you will take it to the route? So the route to market is the driver. If you are successful, you can do that. And risk is value of death. Let me tell you, 67% of the startups get killed at this stage, which is route to market. 100 स्टार्टअप अगर शुरू होते हैं, 67% स्टार्टअप्स मर जाते हैं बाय द टाइम इट कम्स टू द ट्रैक्शन. यानी मार्केट में पहुंचते पहुंचते मर जाते हैं. इंडिया की बात कर रहा हूं. देन देयर इज अ स्केल अप. So driver is a volume. You may be very successful in the small volume, but how to drive the volumes? How to make the supply chain feasible? And then risk is sustainability. Maturity or exit or merger stages. This is the stage of the startup. आपका वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया बट पैसा रिटर्न, दैट इज द ड्राइवर. हाउ मच मनी यू आर मेकिंग. फाइनेंस इज अ पब्लिक and risk is a profitability. How much money you are making. So these are the actually driver and risk of each stage of the startup. Again, this is my own slide, not copypaste.com. I consider during COVID and post COVID, these are the startup ideas can become successful. Personalized nutrition, organic, natural, traditional, vegan, e-platform, export home cooked food, plant-based meat, plant-based protein, intermediate products, new packaging, safe packaging, Ayurvedic food. Ayurvedic food is the area which is unexplored area and lot of products can come into the Ayurvedic food. Packaged food, cloud kitchen, artificial intelligence in the food processing, big data, machine learning in food processing, post-COVID food, functional food, nutraceutical, high protein, multigrain, cereals, millet-based products, convenience food, ready to eat, ready to cook, on the go food, immunity boosting food, mental health food, sleep disorder, post COVID. Post COVID, let me tell you, there are three products which are in huge demand. If you are having a medical shop nearby, just go to that shop and ask which are the three tablets which you are selling highest in this last 2 years. Number one tablet, Dolo 650. Number two tablets for sleep disorder, multivitamins. Now multivitamins can be actually through nutraceutical. Sleep disorder is one of the problems. Mood disturbance. You must have seen post COVID, chid ज़्यादा हो रहा है. Food could be a good mood enhancers, probiotic, prebiotic, cut vegetable. Every home has this magic box which we call as a masala box. You know, India is free of all the diseases compared to the Western world because of this magic box. All nutraceuticals are stationed at one box called masala box. Coriander, cumin seed, red chilies, turmeric, nariyal, amchur. A lot of nutraceuticals are available in this box, black pepper. And all the antioxidants are available and that too in oil soluble. Look at the technology which our Indian traditional culture has taught us to eat this. Other countries, there is no masala box. Other countries, there are so many diseases which are related to the brain issues, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, all are connected with the non-eating the antioxidants. I think someone from the university, I think Professor Siddharth sir only, I think has from Kolhapur has published a book on traditional food. Who is that, sir? उदाचन सर, ट्रेडिशनल फूड पे किसी ने बुक लिखा है ना?
हाँ यस सर सर
हाँ मोहन सर, हाँ बोलो.
हाँ बोला सर हाँ सर सिद्धार्थ सर बोलतात
हाँ सिद्धार्थ सर, तुम्ही लिहिलंय ना?
या सर
Congratulations Siddharth sir. So this is the so important that traditional food has so much of importance and we need to decode the importance of traditional food in the scientific way.
Right.
Otherwise, just traditional food we will ignore, but westernized food, which is a junk food. I was talking to one of my US friend and he said that the difference between Indian food and Western food is that Western food is hot, sir. गरम गरम खाना खिलाएंगे आपको. Indian is fresh and hot. जिसको इसका difference पता चल गया, you know that what I'm saying. They cook the food, keep into the refrigerated for 7 days, 10 days. You come to India, आपकी मदर, आपकी वाइफ, आपकी सिस्टर आपको गरम गरम ताजा खाना खिलाती है. Fresh and cooked and hot and only hot. That will not give you the nutrition and also the quality and the food safety what otherwise the fresh food will give. So the nutraceutical has huge scope. This is small example. India Alzheimer cases are 0.3%. US and UK the Alzheimer cases are in tune of 1.2 to 1.8%. This is just because of small intervention of turmeric in your daily diet. Turmeric is something which really protects you from Alzheimer and Parkinson. I'm just giving you a simple technique. If you eat turmeric and jaggery every day, little bit of jaggery and turmeric every day, it will take care of your, then it will really take care of all your needs against the particular Alzheimer's and Parkinson. Friends, after COVID, we realized that definition of wealth has been replaced as a health. W has been replaced with H. Today, when you call to anybody, you ask, how is your health? How is your family? So nobody's asking how much money you made in the share, how much, which car you purchased, which country you traveled. Today, that is not important. What is important is how is your health. Look at second wave of COVID. Look at the first wave of COVID. Now the third wave of COVID. We were hunting for beds. We were hunting for medicine. We were searching for our neighbors if they have all happy or sound and safe. We have seen enough, and today everybody has realized the importance of the health. अगर जान है तो जहान है. Innovation is so important, otherwise you get evaporated. Innovate or evaporate. It's very, very important. Innovate or evaporate. This is basically for everybody, including the students, and this slide is basically for the teacher, for the professor, but you can impart this to your student. Focus on R&D, research and development is very, very important. Let me tell you, our spend on R&D is only 2%. If you spend more than 4%, you can innovate more. In the food processing industry, our spend is hardly 2%. Pharma industry spends more than 8% in R&D. Automobile sector spends 10% in R&D. Our food processing, we have to increase the spend on R&D for the newer product. It is a COVID time, control on your expenses, capital expenses particularly. Buying a new house, buying a new car, delayed decisions. You don't know what will happen in the future. What is important? In your entire family, whoever is, you need to have an entrepreneurial culture. Spending is easy, but earning is very difficult. Teach your kids, teach your relatives, earn. Earning is important. Many of my friends, those are particularly from Marathwada because I have done my education in Marathwada. The culture there is that आपको क्या जरूरत है काम करने की जब आपके डैडी ने बहुत कमा कर. I think this question is a useless question. Everybody has to work, irrespective of your father and or your mother. When you stand up in front of mirror, you are alone, not with your father or mother. Everybody above 18-year-old, I believe that, should at least earn something to make living. Even if you are a student, try to help your father or mother in some or other way. It is in the mind. I have seen lot of mothers, they are overprotective to their kids. This job is only 20,000 rupees. No, 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 this is an insult to me. Don't do this job. And you are allowing them to actually make paralytic, and the person is at home not doing anything because you are waiting for a big job to come. Not possible. You feel it is an insult. No. I think start is very important. Most important thing after COVID which you have learned is help others. Whether you get help or not, but you help others. Many of us have a negative mindset. मेरे को किसने मदद नहीं किया था. Nobody helped me. I will not help others. It is a wrong thing. What is more important is that whether you received a help or not, that is immaterial. You help others. Sharpen your skill. Reduce your mobile uses, particularly on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It is useless. Reading is more important than the watching TV because when you read, you explore your mind. When you watch TV, it is closing your mind. If you want to do startup, focus whether you are able to sell or you are able to make. If you are manufacturing, focus on manufacturing. If you are selling, focus on selling. Doing both the things very, very difficult by one person. Collaborate. Work together. Starting alone is not possible. I always tell to these startup companies, every vehicle requires at least 2 wheels or 4 wheels. At least find one more wheel who will compensate you. You are not good at everything. Health is wealth. and health can come through the food. Look at these pictures. Today, everybody wants to look good, everybody wants to look healthy, and nutrition is very important, and nutraceuticals are important. These are the nutraceuticals coming from the food and health supplement, nutraceutical, food for special diet uses, food for special medical purposes, specialty food, probiotic, prebiotic, novel foods. These are the good startups in the FSS area. Finance is very important, and fortunately today you are connected with the entire world. So funding is that way easy through the government schemes or otherwise. And there are various ways of doing the funding. Is like bootstrapping, family and friends, bank and government schemes, crowdfunding, angel investors, venture capitalists, or incubators. There are many ways depending on your life life cycle of the startup. You can get the funding. And I am very happy that Siddharth Lokhande sir, professor, is from Kolhapur. He's one of the expert in the startups, and any help you require, you can connect with the Kolhapur ICT. Is one of the very supporting in the startup area, and Shahu sir and Udachand sir and all the people in Kolhapur. They are very forward looking and also supportive. So if you want to start, get registered as a partnership firm or partnership firm or the LLP, limited liability partnership, but do not start as a proprietor because startup ecosystem in the DIPP, proprietorship companies are not allowed to get registered. These are some startup mantras and they are very, very important. Startup is a serious business, is not a copy.com. If you want to do it. You should know what you want to do. You want to start or you want to support. You should know that. If you want to be a driver or you want to supporter, then do accordingly. Whenever somebody is starting, he or she should know when to exit. I always say startup, passion, and business, these are two different things. I have a very dear friend in Pune and she has started, she makes a very wonderful cakes and she said, I make the cake and I can sell. From last 8 years, she is making the cake and she is making the cake only by her own herself. She has not trained anybody because she doesn't believe that anybody can make a cake better than her. And her shop is only of selling 50 kg of cake maximum. इसको startup नहीं कर सकते, इसको startup नहीं कह सकते. If you are so possessive about your knowledge कि ये किसी को नहीं दूंगी, this knowledge is only with me, then you cannot do the startup. So friends, startup is an art, startup is a skill, startup is a science. Keep business professional. If you're doing a startup, my humble request, do not recruit your relatives. The most mistake which we Indian do, मामा का लड़का, अंकल का लड़का, बुआ का लड़का, वो कुछ नहीं काम कर रहे, उसको startup में लेके आओ. You are making a useless tire to be part of your vehicle. No use. Recruit the people on the merit. Even if he is your relative, it's okay, but on merit. Keep financial under control. Startup में पैसा आने के बाद पार्टी होती है, दारू पीना होता है. I think one should avoid this. I'm not telling you people will do, but these are the mantras which you please tell your students avoid this. Any startup do not work like a gambling. Above 40% return आता है profit में और ये 100 रुपए डाला 150 निकल गए नहीं. Startup can give steady income but not very high return. That is not a startup. That is called it's a gambling. Hire the talent, not the liability. Low term vision, long term vision is important, short term vision is not important. Keep connect with the consumer. Keep connect with the consumer. They are the queen or queen, king. Startup is a wealth creation, not the money making machine. People think कि पैसा बनाने के लिए startup करना है. Wrong. Ask anybody who does the startup. They are not making for money. They are doing the startup for passion, for science to the commerce, for satisfaction. Money making is a byproduct of the startup. Failure or success are not important. They are the cyclic path, and it could be a failure, it is a learning. If it is a success, it is a good thing. We have learnt one story in our school time, slow and steady wins the race. In startup is very, very important. Slow and steady focus is very, very important. Today, in generation, people don't want to wait, but the people who will wait will get understand the consumer behavior. 9 months time of thinking is important. Otherwise, you will keep changing your ideas. Without jumping into the water, you cannot teach the swimming. Without jumping into the startup ecosystem, you cannot understand what is startup. Giving the can outside is of no use. Jump into it as a mentor or mentee or some responsibility, but get into it. There are few I felt that I will share with you some success stories and some of the success stories where I'm personally mentoring that I can give the example. This is a confidential one, but I can tell you. The first is Evo Food. A person from Nagpur, Karthik Dikshit, he came to Bombay. I supported him, and then he ventured out in a Evo Food, and his Evo Food got the funding of 8 crore rupees last year, and he has started. The product is Evo Food plant-based eggs and egg product. Amazing startup. They got the funding 8 crore rupees, which is a early first cycle of the funding. He is from Nagpur. If anybody is interested, I can connect with him. You know, Ginelia and Ritesh, they have started Imagine Mate. I'm fortunate to be part of their mentoring team, and then I'm working closely for their success. And again, without any commercial interest, but as a good, dear friend, Ritesh is a dear friend of mine, so uh, I'm helping them, and the whole concept to market is I'm part and parcel of this venture to Ritesh and Genelia. Other success stories, I'm not part of any Ritesh Agrawal, I don't know, but Ritesh Agrawal, college dropout, and he has started a OU room. I think it's one of the fantastic startup. Yes, Mustafa Bhai, I know him personally. He's from Bengaluru. And ID Fresh food during the COVID time, everybody knows that it has grown up by 600%. Amazing success story. Parley, Shona Chavan and Rameshji. My first job was in Parley before joining Coca-Cola. I have done my training there. And what an innovative product they brought is a Bisleri water. They taught us how to drink water in packaged water form. Peruj Khambata. Yes, Vector Food is also one of the example. Piruj, dear friend of mine, Piruj Khambata Rasna story. We grew up during school time on the stories of the Rasna drink, amazing product. Allah Saab, Maya Saab for MTR Foods, very successful startup again. Then you know the Indian Haldiram story. Haldiram is very successful in North India and Kolkata and Nagpur. Dheeraj Gupta of the Jumbo Vada Pav, he sold his business like 20 crore to one of the MNC. Gaurav Goenka at the age of 30. Rajdhani Foods, they export a lot of basmati rice. Dr. Kurian, everybody knows about Dr. Kurian. I think he has also done an amazing startup on the Amul story. Neeraj Kakkar, I worked with Neeraj sir in Coca-Cola. He was our vice president then, and he has started a hectare beverage. And Paperboat is the story. Mr. Singh, of the founder of Chai Point, and you must be have observed in Maharashtra particularly, Amrut Tulya has started copy of that, but amazing startups in this space. These are my credentials. Anybody wants to connect with me, you can directly write to me. I'm active on the Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can write to me any query, any help from my side. I will be very happy to connect back to you. And so I have covered in 1.5 hours, but we will be doing some question answer, and then we'll close as per the scheduled time. So I kept some time for the question answer, 20 odd minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Jasper. We can have some question answer. So it will be You can put your camera on. We'll take one photograph. So as a
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely.
Participants, please switch on your camera.
Namaskar, madam. Yogita, ma'am.
Morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
I could see Pooja ma'am. Yogita ma'am is my professor, by the way. I told you in MIT Pune, so she is my professor. Shalini Arya is my colleague, and she is the one we really aspire to become like Shalini ma'am, a great scientist. Sorry, great international scientist, Shalini ma'am.
Thank you.
So many people, and let me tell you, Shalini ma'am is the one. She's supporting so many startups, so many scientific accomplishment and the innovations particularly. Lot of things to learn from Shalini ma'am. Siddharth Lokhande, Dr. Lokhande is also the inspiring story. Pooja ma'am, I know you very well. So
Yes, how are you, sir?
all well. Katke sir, thanks for joining. Katke sir is also, he got an innovation award in AIPA 2019. I know everybody. Great. Okay. Any question?
Yes.
Sorry. Actually, I'm after this COVID, I'm feeling little bit of tired, and there are post COVID. वो शादी के side effect जैसा COVID के side effect काफी होते हैं. So
Yes.
this COVID is really bad, yaar. Please take care of your health. COVID is, don't take it lightly, and it takes its own time. This virus is not good.
Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Prabodh Halde, sir, for your valuable guidance related to the startups. I think after after listening to your lecture, some of the participants will definitely help to the students for their respective startups. Okay. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask the same by unmuting yourself, or simply you can write in the chat box. Yes.
I want Dr. Shalini to ask the question.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Shalini
It
ma'am.
was, as usual, it is a very inspiring. I am, highly motivated. And when I was listening, I was thinking, oh my God, why I am not starting, yet startup. I have been guiding, motivating all many companies, do come. They develop product. We develop amazing product, but not able to start up a startup. So what would you think? Maybe there are many people like me who have amazing ideas, but still we are not able to start up the startup. So please, what would you like to say on this, sir?
Professor Shalini, I will just give you a narration. I went to University of Florida in US, and then I asked the professor, "What you do?" Professor was Ms. Joshita, Joshita, and she is not the Indian, but Joshita. The name is Indian. Is a Punjab, married to Punjabi. She said that 70% of the professors are involved in the startup. They have taken some stakes. I said, what is that? They said, in university, you are allowed to work with the startup, and you give the idea, you give the support, and you buy the stake in the startup company. And the valuation of the company is in billion and million and billion. And in the IT, and that has started in IIT Delhi. Many professors have taken a stakes in the lot of companies, and the unicorn companies means जिसको कहते हैं 1 billion का, जिसका means 5,000 crore and above companies का जो valuation है, उसमें से अगर even 1% valuation you get, so just imagine what kind of money you are making. It is not about money, but you are partnering in a company, so it is allowed. You take a proper permission, and whenever you feel this startup idea is really good for your student, for your as a consultant, you said, I will not charge anything, but I will consult with you. You make me you give me the stake, and no need of taking any liability, like you don't become a director or you don't become any active person, so there is no any legal liability on you tomorrow if something get failed. But start working as a partner rather than as a consultant, and it is very much possible depending on your university norms. And now, because I'm in the Niti Ayog, and we are making it as a policy that we want our teachers to become a part of the entrepreneurial journey rather than only teaching. So that will roll out. But IIT has started. Many university have started. Like they're encouraging people to become a part of the equity or 1 or 2%. And please think in that way, Dr. Shalini. It's not necessary that 1, 2%, 5% equity. You may feel it's very small, but when the valuation goes to crore, you become a millionaire in no time. So it's very important. But start somewhere.
Excellent.
Important is start
Thank you so
somewhere.
much, sir. Thank you.
Yes. There is a one question from the participant Pooja Narkar ma'am. A lot of investment is required for place for processing, uh, be it rented or of own place, and how to handle this, as a loan is also not available for this purpose.
Pooja madam is there, so she can directly have interaction with.
Yes,
Yes,
you
yes,
can
sir.
ask directly. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Go ahead.
actually, sir, this is a major problem. Even if we want to start, especially for a food processing, even if we want to start up a small unit, we need some place, and the rent is also on a very higher side in the beginning. And then even if we want to buy a shop or something or a gala, it's very difficult. It is next to impossible. So how it's and I from what I know is under Startup India funding and other loan that are available through government, they don't give loan for any place or even for renting or rent purpose also. So how to handle this problem, sir?
Actually, Pooja ma'am, this question is very valid. And where do you stay? In which part of the city you stay?
Koregaon, sir.
Korea.
So
So you
even
know,
if I look out for a very small shop, it costs about 25,000 per month rent.
I know, I know, I know. So, ma'am, these are the very Shalini ma'am. You just keep your camera on. I have some correlation with this question with you also. So, Shalini ma'am, if you can keep your camera on. Uh, Pooja ji, this is a very valid question, and this question will come to anybody who is want to start. You know, when somebody wants to come to Bombay, the first question comes, रहेंगे कहाँ? बहुत खर्चा है. If you think about that कि बहुत खर्चा है तो nobody can come to Bombay. The person like me would not have never come. Person like Shalini would not have come. So Pooja ji, I'm telling you, money is not a problem in the startup. In such cases, there is a enough room only in the manufacturing. I don't know which product you're talking about. 30% utilization of the product manufacturing capacities. Only 30%. 70% is unutilized. It is very easy to start a manufacturing unit which people are doing without understanding the market. Now in your case, पहले ये बताओ आपका market ready है क्या? Will you able to sell? If you are ready to sell, then connecting the dot is very easy. You talk to me one to one, I will solve this. There is not a problem at all. If you are able to sell, there were enough people to give you on loan the product for 30 days आपका time देके. There are ways to do that. There are ways to connect. And that's why the startup is not like everything comes easy in the plate. देखो जब आप स्टूडेंट बोल के बॉम्बे में आए थे, कितना डिफिकल्टी जाता है यार आपको. आपको कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा, आपको बात करना पड़ेगा. तो पूजा जी, ये ऑल दिस विल कम. डिफिकल्ट है, इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है. I will help you. If you have an idea which product you are talking about, definitely we can.
Sure, sir. I'll definitely get connected to you.
And let me tell you, startup is not a bichara what actually we made it to the farmer. अरे वो बेचारा है, वो गरीब है, कुछ नहीं यार. If you want to spoil somebody ना, उसको बोल दो you are a poor, you are गरीब, इसलिए तू बेचारा है. Life is all about becoming somebody. If you want to किसी को life से निपटाना है ना, उसको बोल दो तू बेचारा है, तू गरीब है. Startup is not like that. We have ability, अपने इसमें दम है. क्या चाहिए यार? करो, शुरुआत करो, मेहनत करो, आगे बढ़ो. Not on the government schemes, not on the some kind of support from the government. Some people, unfortunately, these politicians are only eating out the money from the startup funds. They don't want to start ever. They just want to grab the money and take it. And that's the culture where consultants are supporting you. Sir, आप scheme ले लो, पैसा खा लो. But I think it's a crime. Tomorrow, if somebody comes to you and says कि बॉस ये एग्जाम सॉल्व करने के लिए ये पेपर आने वाला है, आप आपके बच्चे को दे दो. मैं तो कभी नहीं दूंगा. मैं बोलूंगा बच्चा फेल हुआ चलेगा, लेकिन क्यों पेपर आपको देना चाहिए. आई थिंक स्टार्टअप में यही है. हमें रेडीमेड जो स्कीम मिलती है ना, विदाउट डूइंग एनीथिंग, इफ यू जस्ट ग्रैब द मनी, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉलिटिशियंस एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द कंसल्टेंट विल टेल दिस, ये स्कीम ले लो, पैसा खा लो, स्टार्ट करना नहीं करना है. And that was the scheme in Maharashtra and entire India. Most of the schemes are failure because they never wanted to understood any market of that, but they just wanted to start, connect with the market, connect with the consumer, and then आप बताओ Zomato, which is a very successful, where which government scheme Zomato has taken? No government scheme, but they are successful. Paytm, which government scheme they have taken? No. So startup in the food industry, those who are successful, they have ability in their mind and their legs. वो ability चाहिए, वो ही हमें सिखाना है. And I'm telling you, if the teacher become a mentor, country will become a self-reliance. Country will become self-reliance. If you can motivate among your 10 students, even 2 students for startup, believe me, 20% startup is amazing in the food industry among all your students. So just wanted to motivate. I know that it's too late for all of us to start something, but it's never too late. You always can do. I can give a number of example how McDonald's started at the age of 42, how the pizza stores they started at the age of 60. So many such stories are there. Your age is nothing, Dr. Shalini man. You are just 35, 36, whatever. Sorry, I've taken your age, but you're just a bacha in this area. Nothing. Start. You can become a biocon of India, yaar. किसने बोला बिलियनर हो जाएंगे आप? Not for money. Money, I'm just giving you science to commerce. You people have to convert science into the commerce. Very important thing. I think Siddharth Lokhande sir wanted to ask something.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Siddharth ji.
Very inspiring, sir. Thank you very much for sparing a valuable time for us, guiding on lot of fun. Sir, I just would like to give one example. Amul Chidrawar. He has started that Ghana oil. Earlier, he was near to the highway, and at that time, he was having very small setup. But right now, recently, he has shifted in the Mumbai itself. Now he is having the uh, uh, very good space, and with a huge capacity he has started his production. That example, it might be relevant to the Pooja ma'am. To get the guidance from him also, he will guide, ready to guide, sir. Thank
Sir,
you, sir.
our
Surely,
Kaushal
sir.
Dongre. Kaushal Dongre is the example. You know his story now. Today is crossing 3.5 crore turnover and one of the successful startups.
So right now I've started from my home. So, and I've given my name for trademark and all that process also I have started. But the only thing was, as I said, the place. But I'm
Don't
sure I'm
worry,
confident
ma'am.
that we are
Anybody,
growing. Yeah.
anybody wants to do something or want to get part of my startup community, we are running 7 startup WhatsApp group. We'll add you into that and we'll help you in whatever the capacity.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any question? I think other participants have requested them to open the camera, but they are doing multitasking. They must be watching movie, or they must be playing with the kids, or they must be doing a evening khana, or they must be doing something. So it's normal thing. Anybody? Otherwise, I don't want to consume your time. It's very important. Time is money, so I don't want to take. Katke sir, any question? Ravindra sir, any question? Gopika ma'am, any question? Nitin Suradkar sir, any question? My known people, I'm just asking you. Nazia ma'am, any question? Kavita ma'am, any question? Pranav Jagtap ji, any question? Omkar, any question? Sneha ma'am, any question?
Sir, again, just I would like to interrupt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Always we are inspiring. You are inspiring to us, sir, and with that inspiration, we have started a lot of whatever examples you have quoted. Just recently, we have joined, sir, DIC's one training program.
Very good.
And, we are going there and trying to educate the 29 peoples. They are very much energetic, and really they are too much energetic, and they need some proper guidance with respect to the product development as well regulatory compliances, fundraising, and so many fronts. And definitely from that experience, what we have learned, and also we are trying to connect with them key new startups, as you have stated some examples. new entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs examples we have given, and really it was shown the results, and just without any reference, just we have sent them directly, and they have used our reference, and that startup peoples, they have really without any hesitation they have helped a lot to that trainers. Yet to be they have to complete their DIC training program, but in between we are sending to them the new entrepreneurs, especially the female women entrepreneurs. Definitely they are helping a lot for the beginners.
Yeah. Thank you, Siddharji, and I think you are doing innovative job. You are promoting your students and lot of things you are doing in your capacity. What you can do in sitting at Kolhapur, I think I congratulate you. आप बताओ any help you required from my side.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, sir. In future, we need a lot of help from your side, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we can have one or two questions and then we will close. I request organizers to monitor, and if people are not ready to ask question, it's okay. इसका मतलब है सबको सब कुछ समझ गया है.
No, sir, you can ask the question. Please please check the chat box, sir.
I have checked chat box.
Yes,
I
yes.
think I covered it. So
Yes, go on.
how to have an idea is like it depends on the market needs. I think one should do the market analysis. One should interact with the consumer. Then only the idea comes. So there are two ways of launching the product. Product is from technology forward or market backward. What will work is a market backward. Market में need होनी चाहिए. There is no point of producing the product and selling without having a market need. Understand the need, give the solution, and that is there. Okay, I think let's move to vote of thanks. I
Yes,
think
whatever
people
the
are.
yes, right. Yes, sir, definitely.
Yes.
Uh,
And
thank you
I
very much.
first would like to really thanks to the University ICT Kolhapur for inviting me, and Professor, you invited me for the wonderful Udaychand sir, खास करके आपने बुलाया बहुत अच्छा लगा, and then whenever you required me, and Siddharth sir and all the professors those who are present today, and Vaibhav Bage sir, all the other professors, they might not have opened it. So I am thankful to you for inviting me, and please do let me know how I can do
Yes,
any help in
yes,
future.
yes, definitely.
I know that Dr. Shalini is a lot of things and thoughts going in your mind. So I look forward really what comes out for this year 2022. One entrepreneur is taking birth, a lady entrepreneur is taking birth. I wish amongst our today's program, at least 5 to 6 real startup can happen. May not be 100% startup, but you can become a part of the startup. So that is possible, very much possible with the permission.
Yes.
Shalini ma'am will be the resource person for the next event, sir.
Oh my God, very good. Definitely. She is one all-time favorite for all of us. So many things to learn. Startup में जो गुण चाहिए ना, startup में जो गुण चाहिए, agility, dare to dream, sincerity, honesty, hardworking, all are in challenge. All are in challenge. She is amazing. She is my junior, but in all respect of her qualities, she is much more superior to us. International fame, we are just waiting for Nobel Prize. Sometime it will come to Shalini.
Yes.
Thank you.
With your permission, Dr. Prabodh Halde sir.
Yes.
Now we have to stop this. Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Prabodh Halde sir, for the valuable guidance as well as the answering the questions from the participants. On behalf of Department of Technology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, I would like to give a special thanks to the Dr. Prabodh Halde sir, as well as all the participants for attending the sixth session of the online faculty development program entitled Recent Trends in the Food Processing and Preservation Technologies. If you have any other questions, you can contact Dr. I.S. Urchan sir. Uh, have a good day ahead.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
धन्यवाद. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Salima.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Uchan sir, for inviting again. Dhanyawad.
Yes.
Please give me the feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and delivering such a nice lecture, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
Most welcome. I hope it is useful and all your
Definitely.
resource people were good, but you have put a lot of responsibility on me, opening batsman and in the master basker and all. But I think after having this, people should feel like it was worth.
It definitely is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for becoming the part of this wonderful FTP, means online FTP.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
See you.